Did you know Miguel's actor almost stabbed someone in this scene, which is why Dexter looks genuinely scared in the final cut? Or maybe you noticed how Dexter accidentally hit his head against this tree when escaping the alligator. If you didn't know any of these things, it's okay, baby girls, because as someone that's reviewed hundreds of actors, I noticed many more unscripted moments from Dexter I'm gonna expose to you guys today. Starting off with the secret way Debra Morgan made this the most impactful scene from the show. The scene where LaGuerta found out the truth about Dexter, Debra had to take things to a point of murder to cover up for her brother. And that's all the scene would have been, except there was more. After all the lines were said, the directors did a very sneaky thing of letting the cameras roll.
Did something very unusual that we've never done before. After the scene was essentially finished, we let the cameras roll. And it was in that moment that Debra runs to LaGuerta after having shot her. That was not scripted.
This was intentionally done because it let Jennifer sit in the moment, the context of the situation, and truly feel what it would have been like. So when this actress had no more words to actually say, her natural instinct kicked in with this unique action of running over to her dying boss to give her a final hug. But all she did is do a hug. Why does that matter? The hug is so important because it's showing she genuinely feels bad for her actions. It shows, unlike Dexter, she isn't some evil sidekick. She's the innocent little sister that just wants to be accepted by her brother. And that innocent sister is shown through her unscripted hug. Without this hug, her entire character after this scene would have felt more emotionless. And it kind of shocks me actually that the directors didn't think to add some redeeming human quality after she just murdered someone. But because she's a talented actor, she just knew to add that in. Ooh. But baby girls, this isn't as shocking as this next unscripted moment. A moment where, just like Debra, Dexter also relied on his natural instinct, putting him in a very dangerous situation. A situation that would occur in episode 3 of season 1. If you didn't catch it, Dexter fully bonked his head on this tree while he's running away from this cute alligator. And some people might look at this and laugh at his lack of awareness, but I'd say it very cleverly shows that Michael Hall was using a very specific acting trick here that only the best actors use. The trick that in the acting world is referred to as moment to moment. It's a very important trick, especially when your character is about to get jumped or shocked by something. The best way to bring out that real shock is achieved by a suspension of knowledge of what is to come, by forgetting everything except what is needed at the moment. What those fancy terms basically mean is, even though you know the script and lines ahead of time, you want to try your best to just forget about them and really just live in the moment without knowing anything that's about to happen. Here he wasn't thinking about an alligator, which is why I really believe it led to this injury. He was moving with such real fear and just jitteriness, he just didn't realize the big brown thing behind him. Me. That was like a weird joke, actually. I don't know. Should I keep that in? Me? But baby girls, this fear is nothing compared to the emotion Dexter felt during Rita's death. Because what if I told you the acting in this death scene is so raw and moment to moment because the writers created a script with a fake ending. Rita's entire death was a surprise to everybody there. As this article states, producers didn't tell Michael C. Hall Rita would perish until almost the same day as filming, and didn't inform Julie Benz of her character's final moments until an hour before she received the final script. And the final result of keeping this information from these actors is a much more deeper environment you can just feel when you watch this scene. Michael Hall noted that everyone present while filming Rita's bathtub scene remained somber, quietly in a private way processing what we were filming, what this meant for the show, what this meant for Julie Benz. I'm not gonna lie, personally, this is a pretty cruel thing to do, literally hide a death until the day of filming, but it worked. You can really analyze how focused Dexter's eyes are onto Rita's body. This is no longer just acting. This man is genuinely just shook watching his on-set wife dying out of nowhere. What a solid landing. Yeah, in the comments below, guys, actually let me know if you guys think this is too cruel of a decision, or if it was actually worth this raw acting. Let me know, baby girls. And also, while you're down there, make sure you subscribe right now. because I might get like aggressive on you if you don't. But now this video is about to get a lot darker as we talk about a real instance that was so dangerous it didn't even make it into the final cut. Because finding out about Rita's death is emotional, but it won't kill you. And getting hit by a log also probably won't kill you. But a knife going 6 inches deep into your chest, that certainly will. And that's exactly almost what happened to a victim during the filming of the Dexter episode, The Damage a Man Can Do. And the story gets insane, so really pay attention, guys. Basically, the Dexter crew likes using real weapons on set. I'll explain why later. So in this episode, when Dexter's new friend Miguel is getting his first kill, there were real and fake knives laying around ready to stab with. And for protection, the victim had a piece of plastic only the size of a post-it note wrapped around his heart. And most of the times when Miguel was practicing his kill, he'd pick up one of the fake knives and would usually miss the plastic protection completely, which would result in this poor victim actually getting stabbed with this plastic knife over and over. But then, in one of the takes, he accidentally picked up a real knife. The victim notices, but his mouth is covered in saran wrap, so he can't actually say anything, and he just looks like he's doing a great acting job being scared. And Michael Hall also notices this and tries to warn him, but he's already mid-swing, which means Miguel actually slashes down with a real knife straight to the heart. But thankfully, this time, he hits the edge of the protection plate so the stab doesn't go through, literally saving the guy's life. Holy crap, bro. What? I'm not gonna lie, guys, I really wish we could see this footage because this actor genuinely probably looks so terrified. Like, oh my god, he's actually about to die. That's it. And personally, if I was in a situation laying in that bed, I would just open my mouth and say, yo, shut the hell up, dude. Don't stab me. That's rude. And then he'd stop. I don't know why he didn't do that, but like I would do that, just so you know. Now you're probably wondering, why do they use real knives? Why was there a real knife sitting there anyways? The use of real weapons on set is a big part of scenes that make it look like the actor isn't acting. Take a look at this specific scene in episode 3x2, a scene that many people overlook. This specific scene is when Dexter killed someone and was quickly caught by Miguel. But the important part of the scene is the fact that the knife he used to murder with is still in his hand. And as you baby girls can see, there's a specific way he looks down at the bloody weapon, truly stunned in place by what he's holding. A big reason behind this shock is the fact he's holding a real heavy metal knife. It simply gave the object more importance. If this knife was plastic from the dollar store, it would 100% be much harder to put emotion into objects. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like when you pick up and wield like a heavy big metal axe, you feel the power behind it and you act accordingly. You move accordingly.
I once auditioned for the guy that robbed the house on Full House. And I carried a loaded Beretta with me into the audition, just to feel the weight of it.
And the same thing applies to everything else. The Dexter crew uses real maggots, real flies, real body parts, anything to add to the realistic nature behind a crime scene. So next time you baby girls are watching a scene and you're kind of like, hey, these actors look pretty disgusted by this crime scene, there's a good chance they really aren't even acting. It's actually just gross and smelly as hell, sweethearts. But what isn't gross is this beautiful playlist filled with my acting reviews. Let me know your thoughts on these unscripted moments. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.